friends get together so they can try things. You're invited to this podcast so that you can try things. Now we'll stop singing so that we can all now try this.
Hello and welcome to Now Try This, the podcast where two best friends get together and my audio isn't working.
Oh my goodness, guys. Welcome to Now Try This, where two best friends try shit. I'm Nick. That guy you can't hear right now is Marcus. He's trying to figure out his audio. Welcome to the show, guys. Oh my goodness. How exciting for you all to be here, whether it be in podcast form, whether it be live on Twitch, whether it be on YouTube. We cover the gambits. Guys, Marcus, are you fixed? Cool.
No.
I also appreciate how Marcus is not fixed and you can't hear him, guys, and he's like non-verbally
Ow.
disagreeing with the things I'm saying.
Now
Deal with it.
I'm
I have the
fixed.
power. Nope, I'm in charge now.
No,
Guys,
I'm back.
this is the Nick
No,
show.
I'm here.
Marcus, say hi.
Hello, beautiful people of the internet. I'm Marcus.
We're really excited because this week we are doing a brand new movie we both have went to the theaters to see. That is The Menu. But just so you guys know, we are a challenge podcast where we challenge each other to things that we love. But this week we wanted to change it up. We were both excited about this new movie, so that's what we decided to do. But
That's not how
at
that
patreon.com,
happened.
how did it happen?
And Nick, we were talking, discussing, and like we often do on this podcast, you gave me one of two options, and I put it out there to the chatters, the people watching us live, the dedicated fans who come every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/nowtrythiscast and voted for us. So they voted for us to watch The Menu. It's their fault that I had to squeeze it in between other things and go see The Menu in theaters.
You know what's funny? I feel like since I had to kind of start the show today, I feel like our roles are swapped. Everything you just said sounds like something I would say, including plugging the Twitch. And now I feel like I'm responding to you, and you definitely have the harder job. It's easier to do it on the other side. Guys, last week we did The Lighthouse. It was Marcus's challenge. No, last week we did Chainsaw Man. That was our
Chainsaw
Patreon
Man.
episode.
Mhm.
That's right. We did Chainsaw Man. It was a very good episode. We loved the show. Please check that out. Check out the show. And next week we will be doing, tentatively, unless something changes, we'll let you know if it does. We are going to be watching the newest arc of Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood arc, to see what's going on there. Because that's what I was going to give Marcus before I realized that maybe we wanted to do this movie, The Menu. And that's what we did. Marcus, you try anything new?
Yes, I tried to listen to your instructions about not talking while I'm adjusting my chair, which I just did.
Perfect. Now I can,
So you
edit it out
all that
seamlessly.
out cleanly, baby.
Clean.
Am I trying anything new, Nick? I just told you I was not ranting about it, but having a special conversation about the fact that I am having to host Thanksgiving. I'm very excited. Never done it before, but also very nervous. Having a bunch of 12 people that are going to be eating my food is nerve-wracking a little bit.
I totally hear that. I couldn't imagine hosting impromptu. Dude, I hate the holidays. I love the reason I hate the holidays is because I love them.
Mhm.
And I've been burned one too many times, so I would rather just not be excited and not do anything.
Fair
Our
enough.
Thanksgiving also kind of got ruined this year, so we're not doing much. But it sounds like yours got ruined way more because that is my worst nightmare. All the families coming all at once, having to host multiple people, having
Mhm.
to do all the fixings, having to make everything, accommodate everyone. And then not to mention your house is falling apart. God,
Yep.
your life is hard.
Hey, thank you. That's all I want. I just want some pity. That's all I want.
You have my pity, you have my sympathy, you have my thanks for being the person that
Nice.
has to do this, so I don't have
Wow.
to in like the etherealness of the world.
I get that. I get that.
But I'm really sorry that you have to go through
No,
that.
it's
But
okay. It'll be good. It'll be good.
it will be good. You'll have family. You'll eat turkey. You'll do the damn thing.
Mhm.
That's not true. I'm trying. I can't even be
No,
honest.
it'll be
I-
good.
like,
It'll be great. It'll be good.
No, it
Look,
won't.
everyone's
It's gonna
gonna
be awful.
eat my food, and they're gonna love it. And we're gonna have. I made everyone. I assigned plates to everybody, so everyone's bringing a dish and stuff. So it's not
okay.
as much of a burden. So
Good. That's smart.
it'll be smooth.
smart.
Ideally,
That's smart. The last Thanksgiving I had to go to, I was like, "Can I do something?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, "Well, that makes me uncomfortable. I wish, like, giving someone something to do that's
Yeah.
very specific is the way to go.
Yeah,
That is
I
the
agree.
gift to give them.
Yeah, because then you're
Bring
like,
me potatoes. Perfect. I can
exactly.
do that. Easy.
Exactly. That way
You
you
can
feel
go a
like
bunch of
I
raw
contributed.
potatoes from your brother.
I mean, look, you do the job, right? Like you bring something, you're like, I am done. I feel comfortable eating as much as possible because I fucking cooked some of this.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Don't ask me if I've been trying anything
Have
new.
you tried
because-
anything
oh,
new?
God. Oh, I did an improv show at a 11-year-old's birthday party in their home in the Upper East Side, and it was in this like showroom with this big piano and these giant windows, and it felt like something from Mrs. Maisel or something. It was weird. It was a great show.
In their home, they had a showroom?
No, I think it's one of those floors that's like a communal, like you can have
Okay,
parties
got it,
there.
got it, got
But
it,
it felt like an old timey house. Ooh, I sounded like a robot for a sec. but
Don't
now I
get
sound better.
distracted. It was the internet. It's just the internet when that happens. You
Listen.
sound great.
Listen, it was weird. I felt like, I don't know. I felt like The Help, just like some people did in this movie we're about to review.
Interesting. Nice segue. We're here
Nice,
to talk
Marcus.
about The Menu.
What's the menu, Marcus?
The Menu is a horror movie. Yeah.
Wikipedia says a dark comedy horror.
Yeah, dark horror comedy. A film that was penned by Will Tracy and Seth Reese focuses on a young couple who visits an exclusive destination restaurant on a remote island where the acclaimed chef has prepared a lavish tasting menu, along with some shocking surprises.
Now, I feel like maybe I'm not speaking for you, but for me, I was excited this movie because of the cast.
Yeah.
The aesthetic looked cool.
Mhm.
Trailer was a good trailer, and it seemed like smart and twisty, and it seemed like everything I'd want from a horror movie. Like sometimes horror movies are like, we're not a horror movie. This movie was clearly a horror movie from
I
step
agree.
one, you know?
I feel
Or
like
it's like
you're right. Because
people don't know they're in a horror movie, but these people knew
That's
they
true.
were immediately.
That's true. I think that there's a level of there's an amount that the audience is made to feel unsettled in horror movies. And I think that this does a good job of immediately making you feel like something is off and that you don't necessarily belong here, right? Like you have an immediate feeling in your gut that like this is wrong. Like something is wrong about this. And later they like really hammer the message in as to like what is going on and how they feel about this kind of thing. But at least in the beginning, you feel icky already about it. It feels pretentious.
2 other movies we just saw that had that same feeling to varying degrees was Don't Worry, Darling and Barbarian. And one of those did it well, and one of those did not do it well.
Yes. Don't Worry, Darling was perfect. You're right. That was
it was awful. You were made to feel uneasy, and they were trying to pretend like no, while Barbarian is like, yeah, feel uneasy. Something uneasy is happening, you idiots. Where it felt like Don't Worry, Darling talked to me like I'm an idiot. Barbarian talked to me like I was a smart man.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt similar to this movie. I thought the start of it was, I heard someone compare it to like a modern Agatha Christie kind of thing, and it felt like that.
Okay.
An ensemble showing up, something was going to happen. It was clear something was going to happen, and then shit happened, right?
Yeah. It
I
was
kind
a
of appreciate the
super
straightforwardness.
Simple, straightforward film. I think that it wasn't super complex. It wasn't trying to be one of those like new agey, like modern, elevated horror things. It was like, it's going to be funny. It's going to be a dark comedy. And we're just going to put everything out on the table immediately.
If I had to put this on the shelf in Blockbuster, I would put this next to Happy Death Day. I would put it next to Ready or Not, that hide and seek.
Yeah.
Movie. It's this kind of genre where it's like smart but funny but simple, and it's like the horror is there. We're not trying to trick you or reinvent the wheel. It's just like a fun escape room, maybe like a nice romp through the horror sphere.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. I love that. You need that as like a palate cleanser to stuff.
Immediately, I want to say this about the film. The trailers lead you to believe that the film is about a bunch of people going to an island and then being hunted. That is what I thought the movie was about. That's what a lot of people thought the movie was about. That is not what the movie is about.
No. It really, really wasn't. And I'm kind of okay with it not being that.
Yeah.
I actually appreciated what we got more. However, there's something about that I'll get into that I think would have worked better than what didn't work in this movie.
Okay.
Because there's something simple and straightforward about a hunting thing,
Yeah.
whilst this movie I think fell under its own weight a little bit. I think the
Okay.
movie was trying to be very smart, and I think at some points it really was,
Yeah.
but at some points I think they lost something because it wasn't as smart as they pretended it was.
I
Is how
understand.
I felt.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could be even more vague, there it felt like more should have happened at some points when not a lot was happening.
Okay.
To be
accept
even
that.
more vague, as the movie was progressing, I didn't like some of it.
I think that's fair to say. For me, I think that I agree with some of that. You're being vague, but overall, I do think that I left the theater and I immediately was like, I don't think I would watch this again.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot
I
of
felt
movies.
the same.
I feel that way about a lot of movies.
Yes, that's true.
But great movies, I leave the theater and I'm like, I want to watch it again. Barbarian. I was like, I
Barbarian.
want to watch this as soon as it's on streaming. I want to
Yep.
watch it.
Yeah, and I think last thing I'll say, and then we'll get straight into spoiler talk. Just run right into it. I think for anyone that's wondering whether or not they should watch this movie, I think it's totally worth the watch. It's a perfect at home kind of like fun movie. But I think it just had it's that thing I say all the time. It's where it's like it was a good movie. It just had a chance to be great because it had some really amazing pieces, and it felt like it needed one, maybe two more passes at the script with like a critical eye and like a different, like a big note, like two big notes would have made this movie, I think, almost like fucking like one of the best horror movies of the year for me. For me.
Yeah.
But to get straight into spoilers, go for it. This is
Straight
spoiler
into
talk
spoilers?
now. No more vagueness. Fuck the vagueness. I'm being too vague.
We could talk about the characters and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
when
but
Ralph Fiennes dies, you think I'm just kidding.
basically, you find out the actual premise of the movie is not that they're being hunted. Ralph Fiennes is a world-renowned chef. He operates his restaurant on a remote island. Only like the richest of the richest people can even dine there. And in this specific instance, he is basically having his final meal, his swan song of
that.
performance / meal dining experience that he's kind of like catering for these rich people. And then over the course of the movie, you find out that the rich people are all going to die there. But not only are they going to die there, because that was, revealed in the trailer.
Yeah.
Ralph Fiennes and all of the chefs and everyone on the island also fully intend on dying there as well.
This is the last meal for them and for them.
Yeah.
For the both of them. For the givers and the takers.
For the givers and the takers. Let's get into the giving and the taking aspect of this film.
So I do want to start off by just kind of going through a little bit of the beginning, because I just think right away I was in it. I really appreciated the aesthetic. I think the introduction to the characters was cute and smart. They were all getting on the boat. I think Nicholas Hoult and Anya Taylor-Joy like sucked me in right away. I was like, okay, I'm invested. I'm trying to see what's going on. The concept like really works because there's an eeriness like in and of itself of going to this remote island where they get all the food themselves and they're all taking it just too seriously. And immediately that's like cool and like scary and creepy. And like, I think that this movie is worth watching because of Ralph Fiennes. Ralph Fiennes is the perfect fucking Gordon Ramsay gone psycho dude. He is the perfect fucking 3 Michelin stars and, fucking opposite of Ratatouille motherfucker. Like he says everything with such earnestness and such like vigor and like realness that like even when the movie was a little bullshit at a point or two, like he was amazing to watch from the beginning of the movie.
A lot of the acting in the film I thought it was great. Across the board, I thought it was great. He stands out because he is sort of like the main
he really does. They give him a lot to do.
And they give him a lot to do. So he really stands out, and he kills it with that. I like him more and more in things I see. I didn't really know who he was, but I feel like I keep going back and watching movies and seeing him in stuff. And I like him every time.
You know who Ralph Fiennes is?
I mean, I knew who he
Fucking
was, but like
Voldemort,
he was just
motherfucker?
Voldemort. That was it. Like, who cares?
sure.
Voldemort sucks ass. That's a boring role for an actor.
Sure, I guess so. I mean, he did a good job.
I mean, he did a good job, but like he's not doing anything.
Have you seen Schindler's List?
No, I haven't seen Schindler's List.
Me either.
But
I
we
don't
saw
want
Made in
to.
Manhattan on the podcast. The
Oh, it was in
Kingsman
Manhattan,
I
that's right.
watched. That was great. Grand Budapest Hotel I watched. But these are all
Grand
movies I've
Budapest
watched
was great.
in the last like couple of years.
Oh, you just watched Grand Budapest? Grand Budapest is great.
yeah. In Bruges,
Yeah, he's one of those
he
actors
was
that's
great.
just been. I've never seen that. He's just been a great actor forever. Yeah, I love this because you can tell he's having fun just chewing apart the scenery. You know,
Mhm.
he's like a fucking Shakespearean fucking actor.
Yeah.
You know, like he's a real serious fucking dude.
But
So
also, John
ahead.
Leguizamo was in the film, and I thought he did a
love
good job.
John
I
Leguizamo.
thought everyone did a great job, and I would like to hear why you disagree before we move on. But also, apparently, I was reading. I'll be honest, I started to read an interview and then I forgot about it. But apparently, there was a lot of improv on set.
Oh, which is weird. I feel like that's always never the way to go. Almost as somebody who does improv, like the amount of improv they say they do on The Office and Parks and Rec is like way smaller than what they're
actually,
because like the framework is more so there. I think there are some really funny bits, and I think you're right. There's not a single weak link in terms of the acting. I think everyone did great. My problem is there. Okay, I'm just gonna fucking go into it. I feel like we have to. I feel like we have to talk about like what the movie is before I
talk about the plot.
before I try to rip apart what the vibe fuck it. So Marcus,
go into it
for me.
Yeah,
I really like the movie, and the more time has gone by, I've liked it more. The more I've thought about it, but as I'm watching this film, I just wish that they did the thing that the movie is supposed to be. And I know that sounds weird because you want them to like change it up and like surprise you, but I wanted them to do what I thought they would do. And what I thought would happen was I thought individually everyone would get a comeuppance. And that didn't happen. And it really made me like really sour by the like 3/4 of the way the movie, where I'm like, no one's getting a comeuppance. Like the movie sets it up where individually with the fucking tortillas, that they have painstakingly figured out this, and they have, right?
Yeah.
They have painstakingly figured out this night to a T, right? Every minute detail to like where the leaf is on the rock on the dish.
Yeah.
But you're telling me that they did all this work to pull these people, and I'm not even talking about like the stupidness. Like they brought some of these people in for stupid reasons, and I love that.
Yeah.
But like there should have been, as we're going through the night, one by one, people should have been dying as they each had their own individual. Can you not tell me that as Nicholas Hoult, we finally figured out what was going on for him, and he had an individualized comeuppance in the film? That wasn't one of the best parts of the film. It was great. I loved it because he had an individual thing that happened that just, and he was a dumb character, and even individually maybe it was dumb, but like I needed that for everybody.
You know
the
what?
truth is, I got nothing from most of these characters.
Nick, I disagree with you.
You're so
wrong.
But
I see where you're coming from, right? Because what other movie franchise does that?
It's Saw,
baby.
I wanted Saw with food.
Saw with food.
Come on, give me Saw with food.
I know that's what you wanted. When you started saying,
it would have been
what
better.
What if? And they had a flashback, and the flashback went.
I didn't need a flashback. A flashback would have been cool though. You tell me a couple flashbacks wouldn't have been cool.
And then you see him following them in a pig mask. That would have been.
Yo, he makes pigs. He cooks pigs. He pig mask.
You just wanted Saw. That's different.
I wanted the menu from the Book of Saw. I know. It's just that's what I prefer.
That was a good moment for sure. I get what you mean. But the thing is, I think that's part of the message. The part of the message isn't that he has a problem with these specific people. He has a problem with these, like what they represent. He has a problem with these type of people.
Yeah, but he individually explains to each one why they're there.
Yeah, sure. But but that's it, right? Like it could have been any of the people that were on the resort that have been on the resort in the past or whatever. Like there's some people there that are for specific reasons. And I feel like they kind of go into that. But like for the most part, it's just rich assholes.
I know, but in the movie, as we're watching the movie, one person gets his finger cut off. His sous chef gets shot. They're amping up like people are about to fucking die. Then no one dies until the fucking end of the goddamn movie, or until Nicholas Hoult hangs himself because of his comeuppance. That's the problem. Like I understand that not everything can be solved, though it would be better. But my problem was like if it's gonna be a grand. There just need to be more there, like more individualized, like moment wise. This film sets itself up. My mic fell. This movie sets itself up as if that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's
the problem. Like, it's cool that it's not what I wanted it to be, but don't set it up that way. Then, if this movie is just about the commentary, then don't. Then it would have been. It's the fucking thing you and Dan Drambles go check out our Halloween episodes. That it's the strangers thing, right? Because you were home. Right? That would if that was the take they wanted, then go that route. These are just rich assholes. Maybe we find out about them a little bit, but no.
That's exactly
Ralph
what
Fiennes'
happened.
character. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Ralph Fiennes individually chooses each one of them for a very specific reason, which is why a whole crux of the film is Anya Taylor-Joy is not supposed to be there, and it's ruining his menu, his vision of the end.
So if you're saying, because you just said both things, so if he is specifically choosing them and you wanted him to have specifically chosen them and that's why you didn't like part of the movie, what exactly is the problem with the film? Because
then you need to pay that
every
off.
single one of them.
There needed to be a payoff.
They were there.
But every time he does that, every time he individually explains it, he's like throws up a ball to swing and then he doesn't swing.
So you
either
him
don't
to
set up the swing
them? Like what is the
100%.
part that's missing for you?
Yes.
Like what is the swing?
Okay, besides the death at the end, what comeuppance does the critic get? Besides the death at the end, what comeuppance to the people?
End is the whole point, right? Like it is a series of meals that builds up to a finale. Like he has a series of courses throughout the movie that he's then building up to a grand finale, which is exactly what he does.
Am I making you like this movie more?
Maybe.
So like, I guess it's fine. I think the ending is cool. The last like arc of how we got there was cool, but weren't you a little like disappointed at the moment when everyone just died?
Yeah. I mean, look, overall, I think there could have been more that this movie did. I think it could have been a little bit. I agree with you. I think there could have been more killing over the course of the film. I think that it's not like a bad movie. I really enjoyed it and I would recommend it, but like I would give it like a 7 or an 8.
Same.
You know, like I'm not going to give it a 10. It's not the best movie I've seen. It's not like a movie you have to go rush to the theaters to go watch, but it was an enjoyable movie and I don't want people to not see it.
Nobody's not going to go because I'm fucking railing on something. If we have that kind of power, fucking join our Patreon at patreon.com/nowtrythiscast. But you know what I'm saying. Like I think
know exactly what you're saying.
The movie was paced pretty well.
Yeah.
But it was just lacking in moments of like payoff. Like the tension was okay.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel enough tension because I think, honestly, just because people weren't dying, I think. Like, there's some really cool moments. Like the fact that, okay, so for example, when they all run away, all the men run away to be hunted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all the women are back drinking with the sous chef. Great moment. Really cool.
Yeah.
Them trying to reason with her. And she's like, no, you guys are all dying. And they're like just accepting their luck as they're like drinking. But then like everyone makes it back. Shouldn't have someone not made it back?
Yeah.
Right.
There's a cadence.
Every moment like that, as again, somebody shouldn't have made it back.
There's a cadence to horror films that I think this film got close to a lot of times.
Yes.
And I don't think exactly executed in the most satisfying way every single time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what. Yes. Dance is a great example. 100%.
Movement, this ebb and flow. It is like it's close. It's there. You can see that they're doing it. And sometimes they hit it, right? When the sous chef comes out and they're like the mess.
Oh.
They present the meal, the mess, and it is
Yeah.
him coming out and
Oh.
him shooting himself.
Fucking him tearing apart a sous chef about how his life has had no meaning because he can never achieve his dream. Like poignant, poetic, and Shakespearean for like no reason, which makes it funny but sad and real. So cool.
Yeah, and even the sous chef, I don't know his name, but like you can tell the like he's about to do something. Like the whole moment
Yes.
also has the tension that comes along with this kind of horror and this kind of movie.
And he's just saying, yes, chef. Oh,
Exactly, and it's very
so good.
very small, it's very tight, and you feel everything around it. And I thought that was a great scene, and it had
Agreed.
everything that you could ask
Yeah.
for in sort of like the pacing of a horror film.
And there was a couple moments like that.
Yeah, definitely. Like when there's another moment when the Coast Guard guy comes and it's tense and you're like, and he's like, it's this whole thing where you're like, oh my God, are they going to get out? They give you a brief moment of hope. And I think that's what was missing from the whole movie.
Hope?
Like at no point
Them trying
in
to
the
get away is
movie-
why they died or whatever.
At no point in the movie did I really feel like they were close to getting away, like they were even
That's
really
true, that's
trying to
true.
get away. And the movie
Yeah.
itself, and I don't know if this is something they added later after like watching it and being like, oh
I don't
shit,
know.
like we didn't
Or if it
have
was
them try to
intention.
go out, or if it was the intention of it. But in the movie, they're like, wow, you guys like really didn't try at all to escape. You probably could have actually escaped. And I don't that line itself doesn't fix the fact that they didn't try to escape.
No, that line makes me think that it was intentionally a commentary on the elite. Because I actually like the line. I think the line's
I like
funny.
the line too, but it
But
doesn't
you're
justify the
right.
feeling that them not trying to escape elicits, right? Like that is part of the tension of horror films. There is an amount of hope that they are going to escape, a chance that they're going to get out. You might not even want them to die. But this whole film, that entire feeling, those like ebbs and flows that you feel are honed in on Anya Taylor-Joy's character, and that's it.
Yeah, who was great, and we loved following her. And the whole pastiche of like, are you a giver or are you a taker, like thing, and like he's like, you're one of us, not one of them. I love that aspect of it. I loved it.
Yeah.
But then you get like the finance bros, and like they had like 1.5 scenes maybe to like be dicky.
Yeah.
But like it was a cool moment when he attacked the wall with a chair, and it was a cool moment when they talked to the concierge and were like, "Do you know who we are?" And she's like, "Yeah." Like super cool moments.
Yeah.
But like, what was there wasn't a payoff there. Like
No.
I wanted them to like try something, or something would happen to them like physically or emotionally, or like something got revealed. Like the closest thing was their manager like being hung up as an angel, which was cool. I like that. That was cool. But like there needed to be something, because then
Same thing.
Because for like the second half of the movie, they didn't do anything, and then they just died.
Yeah. Same
that
thing
was
with
most
the
of the
assistant.
guests.
There's just something a little off about the script and about like the plot that's like, okay, like more justification. The characters that you're establishing, I don't think necessarily would do this kind of thing. Like the assistant, right? She is like, why am I dying? Like, I'm not like a millionaire, whatever. And he's like, oh, what school did you go to? Did you graduate with any student debt?
I also had a problem with
that.
that.
And I thought it was funny. And in the moment, I was like, that's hilarious. Like, great. I love it.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, thinking about it a little bit more, it's like, no, like actually that kind of is stupid.
We should have, and the only fix that would have done the fix, because Amy Carrero's character in that, she was just like a nice girl talking to her boss. Like there should have been moments that we either wanted her to live or wanted her to die.
Yes.
And then that moment would have, that same funny moment would have been even a better payoff. You didn't even have to change it. It's just, I didn't know what I was supposed to feel about her. Like, I was like, movie, do you want me to hate her? Or movie, do you want me to like her? Because I feel neither.
Yeah, I get what you're saying more so now in regards to your earlier point, where I think what was missing is not necessarily that each person had a moment as to why, because that's what Saw. You're right.
That was just one
does,
idea to fix the problem.
But the fact that we don't care about any of these people, I think in horror movies,
we
like
almost
that's
do.
what you do. That's what you care about these people. And or you hate them. Like that's what this movie I think didn't understand, is that when you watch movies like this, you care about them and you want them to escape. So a lot of the tension is you thinking that they might not escape, and you're scared that they might not escape, and you're following that journey. Or you hate them so much you revel in the fact that they are going to die, and you're like, "Ooh, I can't wait to watch them die." And so we didn't get the satisfaction of watching any of these people like die brutally or suffer, really. But we also didn't really have the overall like hope that they would survive.
Yeah, and I feel like you can even do both, right? You can even make us like them, and then when that moment happens, it's revealed that they're actually the worst person in the world. We've also seen that in lots of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like Amy Carrero's character, I only know her name because, like Daron says in the chat, she's She-Ra. She's a big voice actress. She's guested on Critical
God,
Role.
what a fucking amazing show. Oh God, She-Ra,
so
I cried. It was so good.
So good. It was fucking perfect. But like, if throughout this whole movie, we were like ingratiated with her and we liked her and we were like agreeing with her. And then during that one moment, it was revealed that actually she was a terrible person. That was the reason she was there. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
I think that does take away from your earlier point about the theme of the movie, about the elite, though. But there's a way to do that. There's a way to like figure this out.
Balance it a little bit more out. Like, because you're right, it is about them being rich, but maybe she was like shitty, or her family like did something shitty and she benefited from it and like pretended that she didn't, or something. Like, I don't know. Like there's ways to do it.
Right. But here's my thing. Like, I also in that moment, like that moment when she's like, I went to Brown, I have no student loans. It's funny. Good commentary. Funny. But like, I liked it. But it falls apart with one question. What if she got scholarships?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it felt like, how people say, why am I out here catching strays, when you're like, just, roasting somebody and you start roasting somebody else. It's like,
is that a drive-by reference?
Yeah, it is. I grew up in the Bronx, okay? So
I know.
It's just a bunch of people out in the film feel like they're catching strays. Like, why is the wife of that old businessman who got his finger cut off, like, why is she there?
She doesn't remember the food. What a funny, great thing if they followed through.
The food either, you're right.
If she followed through on that, that would have been good, right?
Yeah.
Like there was something that like tied that in somehow. Like it was poetically, the movie was so poetic in so many of its aspects that I wanted a poetic justice for these characters too, right? Which is why in my head it was a comeuppance, but it needed something in a way to justify either why they were there or make it like completely random in a way, because it did the in between, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like they deserve to be here. Yeah. Though I will say, when John Leguizamo was like, yo, why am I here? And it's because because I had a day off. For 3 months, I had no day off. And on that Sunday, I went to see Dr. Sunshine or whatever it is. And it ruined my day. And John Leguizamo was just kind of like, I was just acting in it. And he's like, and the disdain on Ralph Fiennes' face is like, when I look at you, it just reminds, just like, wow, that's so funny.
That was another funny moment that worked for me. That I guess falls under the same category of the stuff we have a problem with. But I loved it. Worked. And that one was fine.
That one was funny.
Yeah.
And you had room for both. You had room for both.
Yes.
Like the theater critic shutting all those other restaurants down. Mm-hmm. Like I got it. I was there. But then once we learned that about her, she was just backdrop in the movie.
Yeah.
Most of them were. Right?
Yeah. It felt like the people in this movie, and again, you could say it's a commentary, but I feel like the people in this movie didn't act like people. They didn't act like people would in this
you're right.
situation.
That is a commentary.
And it could be a commentary because they're the part of the elite and they don't know how to act like normal people. But there was just something that was just off about the way they were behaving in this situation.
Listen, dude, I teach on the Upper East Side sometimes, and I had a lesson today, and I've been using my scooter into the elevator for 3-4 months. Mm-hmm. And then today, as I'm walking out the door, I was like, hey, you got to make sure to use the service elevator for that. I was like, so you can hide me in the back as I'm going through this building with my, like, am I dirty to you? Am I like fucking scum? I was pissed. I was ready to blow off. Yeah, and then the guy gave me a look like, come on, man, I'm just like doing my job. And I was like, you're right. I'm sorry. I can't be mad at you. I can't be mad at you. But like, I'm fucking pissed. I was pissed.
Yeah. But he's the executor of the deed in which is evil, right? Like he is executing the
Yeah.
deed.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
problem too.
But you got to remember.
That's true.
You know, so something that I think really fucking worked in this movie was like the clapping and the yes chef and like the whole
Mm-hmm.
mapping of the restaurant industry. And I don't know
Yeah.
if this is just because I come from the restaurant industry. I'm sure you could relate too, though. You know, but I've worked service jobs and like that atmosphere and the creepiness all like just worked. It worked
Yeah.
so well. It was creepy. It was satisfying. When Ralph Fiennes came out to do little speeches, it was stunning. It was great. And then every time we got little like tidbits of the other people,
Yeah.
it almost made me not think about the fact that they were all in a suicide pact together.
Yes.
Almost.
Yeah.
I still because you said it earlier too. There's like a little bit of question of like, but why? You got it from the two sous chefs.
Yeah.
The two sous chefs got a moment.
Yeah.
Which almost like, okay, you kind of assume it for all these people.
Yeah.
But one of these people like wash the dishes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
You tell me the dishwashers like fucking
They all live there. They formed like this little cult, right? Like
It is a cult, yeah.
they formed this little cult together. They live on the island. It's a commentary on how sometimes your passions can consume you and lead you to down a wrong path. Like I get it.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
honestly, I like that this film works in that way as a commentary on the restaurant industry, but also as a commentary on pretty much anything you could be passionate about, right?
Yeah. It really does.
It works as like, art.
Any kind of art,
cinema, whatever, any kind of creation. It can consume you in a way that leads you to believe that you're better than everyone else. And, and the people consuming it believe that they could do it if they wanted to do it as well. Like it's this whole thing, and I get it. It's because I liked it.
If you are an artist trying to achieve your art and you get to a certain plateau, that is you don't like the view from up there, right?
Yeah.
And they like very plainly say with the burger thing, that was the last time it was happy. But like you work so hard in your art, like take this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Like we love doing this podcast. We love our fans. We love the people listening. But if we got to the level of how did this get made or less podcast on the left or whatever, I could understand a feeling of like, I miss the old times when it didn't matter, when we didn't have anyone to impress, when we didn't have to meet advertising requirements.
Yeah.
Like as you grow in your art, the people you're surrounded by that consume your art are like higher end. So like if we ended up being behind a paywall because of circumstance, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't think either of us in a situation where we wouldn't like be like, yeah, Audible, buy us. Like we don't want to, but we need it. So fine, buy us.
Yeah.
But then we wouldn't enjoy the people that would be under that paywall, right?
Yeah. I think whenever you have stuff like this, it becomes a job and can become draining. And I feel like you no longer are doing it for the joy of the thing. You're doing it for the prestige. You're doing it to continue to keep your what's it called? Notoriety at the level that it is.
Yeah. Question.
Mm-hmm.
It cost $12.50 for one meal at this place.
$1,250, right? I heard that too, and that didn't seem like that much.
Is it just me, or does that seem like a good deal?
I've seen I feel like I've seen the Try Guys or someone like have more expensive meals.
Oh, it was the people that do like a $1 hot dog, a $60 hot dog, and a $2,000
whoever those guys are.
Yes, the food on this would cost that alone.
Exactly. Yeah,
and that's not counting the experience of the private island, the tour, because $12.50
was like a discount.
There's 12 people, so that's $15,000 a day. I guess that's $5 million a year.
That's great.
But there's a staff of 30.
No, that's maybe, I don't know. I was like, that's too many.
And even if they got $50,000 a year, which is not good, but just assume that that would be how much money is that? 15. Let's do this math. 50,000 a year,
guys. Here
for 30 people.
Now
that's
try
1.5.
We're here to do the math of whether or not this is as prestigious of a restaurant.
Okay. Assuming they each get $50,000 a year, which is lowballing it, they have $4 million left. How much do you think it costs in upkeeps to keep a private island a year?
Probably like $100,000.
All right, maybe this is good money. There's still billions of dollars here, like left over. Maybe okay.
Because if they're doing a lot of the work themselves, and they're not sleeping.
They're literally
Right?
doing all of it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be that much money.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
And
even if they
they're
made
not paying for
100,000 each.
housing. They're not paying for anything. They just live there on the island.
No.
And they cook,
right.
they eat, they sustain
And they
themselves off the
literally-
land and everything.
Yeah, so they're literally not bringing in food because it's
Yeah.
all there.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? Honestly, kind of cool.
Honestly,
I'm
I
not a
was
farm to
into
table
it.
kind of guy, but like these are the scallops you're gonna be
Yeah.
eating tonight,
I'm not
and I'm
a
like,
farm
that's
to
kind of
table,
cool.
but I am an over there to table kind of guy. Like if the food's right there, that's cool.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Have you ever picked out a lobster?
No,
Me either.
that doesn't seem the same.
It
though.
seems elitist. I don't like it. I've never thought to.
I feel like
to
those
do it.
lobster tanks. Well, I guess I've never been to a super fancy restaurant, but the lobster tanks I've seen don't look great, and I don't want the lobster that are in there.
Sure, lobsters used to be poor people food. Oh my
That's-
god, when he made the speech about bread being poor people food and didn't give them bread.
Yeah,
Honestly, there's a
I
lot
like
of really
that.
funny moments.
yeah,
It was funny.
It's very funny, and it's also it's pretentious, right? And it's purposefully
Yes.
pretentious in the way that
Yes.
the movie works. You know,
Lexi literally is like, I could never take you to this restaurant. And I would say, no, you cannot. You can never take me to this restaurant. I would be fucking ripping it apart. I would be like flipping out. My face
Yeah.
would be like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck is this bull? This fucking
Yeah, yeah,
12.
yeah.
Give me some fucking bread.
That's
Jesus
where
fuck
I'm at. I mean, like it's the same bullshit that like you go through all the time, right? Like I feel like there are some certain people that eat up this pretentious bullshit. We know those kinds of people that because something's
do.
expensive that they love it, and because
Yeah.
something is everyone says something is good, they also have to say it's good, and it's like no, right? Like you don't have to do that. I also would hate
Yeah.
eating at this kind of place. It seems
Yeah.
terrible.
So after watching this movie, I would do it. I'm
You would do
interested
it?
now. Yeah.
But well, okay, if it was like a
Only 'cause of this
presented to
movie.
me like a cult, like they were like, hey, there's this cult
Yes.
that you go and they make food for you. I'd be like, oh yeah, that sounds fun. I'd
That
do
sounds great.
That sounds like
That
a great
sounds
time.
great. I do want to talk about Nicholas Hoult and Anya Taylor-Joy individually if we can, because
Oh yeah.
super interesting. Nicholas Hoult, we'll do him first. I for half the movie, I was just there like, I know this dude is a great actor,
Mm-hmm.
but like he's not doing it. Like he's not responding to anything. He seems so despondent. Like
That
it was
was
so
the
weird.
point, though.
And then it
Yeah.
paid off. And then
Yeah.
it paid off, and I was like, wow. I know it's like a commentary and it's like a little meta, but like I totally know this guy. Like you were literally just lambasting this guy 2 seconds ago.
Mhm.
Who Nicholas Hoult is, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh yes, with the it's this with the this,
Yeah, yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Marcus, this motherfucker knew about what was happening that night,
Mhm.
wanted to do it anyway, and brought somebody without telling them,
Yeah.
knowing they would die.
Yeah, I love
Is
that
he
exchange.
the most psychopath in here?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think so. I loved that exchange. It was just like they had the reveal, like you know that he
Oh,
brought her
that was
there. She wasn't supposed to be there. It was this whole
Yeah.
thing. And then the reveal that he knew they were all gonna die was like it was perfect. It was
Oh.
so good.
His face wasn't even like sorry, even at
No.
all.
No.
And the contempt on Ralph Fiennes' face for him, oh, so good.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
And
it feels like, you know, there's always that kind of person who's like, I could do it. I could do it. Oh, if I was in there, it's in everything, in sports, in everything that people consume.
We came out of that theater. I turned to Lexi. Was like, I fucking get that shit all the goddamn time. What I do is fucking hard. Not anyone can do what I fucking do. Okay. Not anyone can get on this podcast and talk for an hour and a half about something and not sound like a fucking idiot. Not anyone can go on stage and like do random jokes and not be a fucking idiot. This is hard.
Yes.
Not everyone can do it, but you
Yeah.
hear it.
Yeah.
You hear, oh man, you had the perfect joke. I literally had it the other day. It was like, oh man, you could have said this one joke. It would have been perfect. I'm like, you weren't fucking there. You fucking do it. You fucking go ahead and do it. Oh,
That's what
it
you
fucking
should have
happened
done.
to me.
That's what you
I
should.
was
You
teaching
should have
it-
done what Ralph Fiennes did, and you should
I
like,
did.
Can't go up on that stage,
Marcus,
then."
I did. I
You
was
did?
teaching a class to high schoolers. I was teaching a class to high schoolers,
Uh-huh.
and I made a chorus. And she was like, why would you do it like that? One of the kids, like a fucking little 16-year-old girl. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, it should have been like this. I was like, with the straightest face, I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, not like, go ahead. It was just like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. She didn't. I proved my point. But like, fucking, it happens all the time. So like, the fact that he had to go make the food himself, I was like, yes.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It was
I
very
love
funny.
that. I mean, it was a good moment too, because that's what you want. That's the reaction you want to have, right? You want to be like, okay,
Yeah.
then you fucking do it. You try to do it, and it's so much easier to comment on things. Like a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
times, when we talk about movies, we're like, we could fix this movie, right? Like we are also a little guilty of that. This movie, I don't think I could fix.
100%.
I'll be honest, I don't think I could fix this movie. I kind of can identify what's wrong with it, but overall, I enjoyed it and I had a good time. And I do think it could be fixed, but I am not the one to do that.
I think I could fix it, but if you didn't like Saw movies, you wouldn't like the movie anymore.
Yeah, like, if you
I have
want this
one
movie to
idea.
be Saw, I could
20%,
fix this.
20% of people would be asking for the sequel next year right now during Halloween. 20%, I'm telling you. And that's all you need. There were 7 Saw films. That's all you need. Solid 20% of a fan base, you're good.
Yeah.
That got Trump elected. That's all you fucking need. Solid 20% fucking fan base. That's all you fucking need.
That's what you need. That's all you need. 20%.
And honestly, just really good like mapping of the film where they're like showing on the big screen like the item and what it is through the menu, and then you finally get the mess, you get that, you get Nicholas Holt's characters,
Yes.
Raw lamb chop thing,
Yeah.
the fucking cheeseburger, like that repeating.
Those were all good.
That was really nice. That was really
great.
good. That
It
was
really
like
well done.
I don't know if that was in the script or that came from the director, but either way, that was like clean, nice.
Yeah.
That's what made this movie like clean and like easy to watch and like fun, you know?
Yeah, and back to the Darren's point in the chat, it does have Whiplash vibes, like Whiplash but horror, right? Like that's kind of what this is. I get that
100%. And then we got Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
I got a huge crush on her. I think I love everything she's done. I like everything she's doing.
Why do you have a huge crush on her?
I don't know. Queen's Gambit, I guess. No, I liked her before Queen's Gambit. What made me?
What did you like her in that when you were like? Because you always
Anya
talk about
Taylor-Joy
her like,
Syndicate.
oh yes, Anya Taylor-Joy. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Oh, Split. That was the first thing. I really like Split.
Always forget she was in Split.
Yeah, that was her first like.
Was she the main character?
The witch was. Yeah, she was the main kidnapped girl, the one that was abused in Split.
Okay.
But then since then, I've watched everything she's done. I'm looking right here. Last Night in Soho, The Queen's Gambit, Emma, fucking,
wow.
That's it.
Everything she's done. 3 movies.
Thoroughbreds, I like. There was another thing that I saw, I thought.
Have you seen Playmobil, the movie? Have you seen?
Yes, she was great. No one saw that movie. She's supposed to be in a new Mad Max movie. She's going to be Princess Peach. She's great. She's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I love her. Something about her. It works for me.
I get it.
But I thought she was great. I love the turn of her character. I love what did you think? What did you think about her?
I thought that she did a really good job of being being the party in which we are viewing the movie through. Like I thought
the insider outsider.
Job. Yes, exactly. Yeah, the person who were like, I need things explained to me because I don't know what the fuck is going on. That role is hard to pull off without feeling like like you're being talked down to as an audience member. And I think Anya Taylor-Joy did a great job with that role. And then also like she really pulled the movie together, right? Like we talked about these people not behaving like humans, and I felt like her actions made sense throughout the film.
I bought that too.
Yeah, I bought everything she did. I bought her intention. I understood she was uncomfortable. I liked it.
I think they did a great job of making her character like strong and capable, and like at no point, while everyone else, even in the good moments, they all felt non-human to me for different moments. She was very humanized the whole time. Yeah. I love her and Ralph Fiennes. They're back and forth, really smart and quippy and nice. And I really wanted to not like it because it was so simple and kind of dumb, but I really like I'd like to send my food back. I'm not satisfied. I would like a burger. I
thought it was a little dumb. Like I liked
That's
it,
why I liked
and
it.
I saw where it was coming from. Like when she saw that she went to his room and saw the picture of that he was burger. I was like, okay, she's gonna ask him to make a burger. I get it. And then when it was happened, I didn't hate it. I liked it, but it did feel pretentious in a way that didn't go in line with the themes of the movie itself.
I'll buy that.
Right? It just felt
I think you're right.
out of place. I get it.
I actually think you're right.
I think it worked.
I thought
for getting her out of that situation.
For some reason, when movies like this, it gets to this point and something just kind of dumb happens, I'm always like for it. I'm
Yeah.
always like, yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Maybe because I've been trying to think so hard the whole time, and like sometimes the simplest answer to they say it in improv a lot, right? Like when you're disagreeing with your castmates and you're trying to get like wrap something up again, the first answer is the simplest answer is always the right answer, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's but I will say after that moment, I thought the s'mores and the her on the boat were only okay. I feel
I
like
like the s'mores. That was good.
I
like
think
the
I was
s'mores.
just so
Very
burned by
funny.
that point because I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
wanted more from these characters, and then they were
Yeah.
just sitting there and dying.
Nah,
you know?
the s'mores is great. I love that part. I disagree with you.
Yeah, I think her on the boat eating the burger. I wanted a little more there. I don't know
think
what. Like,
my problem with the burger scene and her on the boat are the same thing. Like her looking
Yeah.
at the explosion, taking a bite of the burger. I don't inherently have a problem with it, but I can only imagine the writers being like, "Oh yeah, oh this is so good. We are such geniuses. We're so smart and cool." For me, it's like okay, like I don't know. It just felt self-indulgent. It felt like either they didn't know what to do or they were super proud of themselves for the way they executed the ending of the film.
maybe. Do you remember the movie Ready or Not very well?
Yes.
It felt like they saw that at the end of that film. After everything that happens, she's covered in blood. Everyone else is dead. Spoilers for Ready or Not, whatever. She walks out and she just smokes a cigarette on the patio. And honestly, for that movie, that felt like a perfect ending.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that you want that to be able to be your
Mhm.
ending, right? You want it to be the Graduate kind of thing. You want the person
Yeah.
to just come out, sit there, do something mundane, and it all kind of comes together. But I
Yeah.
feel like her character, like just maybe because they were like what you were saying, we never like felt too much like she was gonna die. Almost like it felt like she was gonna be the one to survive, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like I don't know. In my head, this is like something maybe I wanted to happen, but now that I say that, I'm like, oh, maybe that's a little ham-fisted. But like, I wanted a moment of like her taking her wig off as like not being at work anymore as a prostitute, or like some like kind of like
Some
satisfying
closure or something.
thing. Yeah, right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I
maybe
feel
not
like
that.
At
but
the end of a film, you want to feel like the character understood the journey that they just went through and are changed by it.
yes,
And I don't and I feel that she was, but just
Yeah.
because I watched the movie, not necessarily
Yeah.
in the final moments of the movie, her like taking a bite of the burger was like, I don't know. It just didn't have the weight that it needed
it was
to
a
have.
little too relaxed. It felt a little like calm. And maybe that's what they intended. They wanted it to be calm because they kind of made the s'more thing kind of calm, right?
Yeah.
Like that was obviously their intention. But I feel like you're right. There needed to be some kind of symbolic something.
Yeah,
something.
it felt like she kind
Something
of had a
happened.
flat character arc. Like she didn't
Yeah, with that final
change.
moment, it did.
Yeah, she didn't change. She was cool in the beginning and like stood up for what she believed
Cool-
in, and then she
and
was cool
in
at
the middle.
end.
And she was cool at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was all. Though, like all the turns were really good.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think you're right. It's like overall, I don't even know how you would fix the like
Die
because
Hard.
it's so close. It's
That's
so
how
close.
you fix this movie. You wanted Saw from this movie. I wanted Die Hard.
How would you make this movie more Die Hard?
What the fuck? How would it make this movie more Die Hard? She
Yeah.
goes out to get the oil drum, right? At that point, she
Okay.
got a knife. She kills one
Yeah.
person, just slowly, one by one, start killing people through the film, get them away during the moment when everyone was running away, right? Like,
Yeah.
and they had like the man run into the woods, whatever. Kill someone, slowly take them out one by one. You know what this building probably has? The air ducts.
Fucking air duct.
Get her crawling through the air ducts. The heat from the fucking like stove needs to escape somehow. She's crawling through air ducts. She's trying to, and then she's fucking fighting Ray Fiennes. You know, Ralph Fiennes. What the fuck is his name?
Ralph Fiennes. Yeah,
Ralph
that's right.
Fiennes.
So, but you know what the problem with that is though? The only thing about the movie the way it is that I'm like, I don't know if you can change it is we do get the completion of the menu.
That's true.
And if the menu is interrupted, there is something that gets lost there.
Yeah.
Because this movie kind of hinges on the completion of that menu.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's satisfying or not.
Okay, but here's alternate pitch. He
I'm hearing it.
knows that she's gonna pull a Die Hard.
Okay.
So he plans for that in the menu. So the
Mhm.
final menu item
Wow.
is him dying.
Wow. I think honestly, I want to say I hate it, but I think I love that intellectual bullshit, so I feel like I would love it.
I am gonna say for the first time ever that I was wrong earlier when I said I couldn't fix this film. I could fix this film.
You just did it. I love that. But yeah, overall, I think we're in agreement about a lot of the film. I think it was a 7 or 8, and I just wanted it to go. It just needed another pass or something.
Yeah. Or honestly, it's one of those movies. I feel like you watch a movie and you watch the writers reach the limitations of their capabilities.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's what I watched. I watched them do the most that they could do with their current level of skill. And it wasn't bad at all, but it could be better. And with time or, another co-writer added to the mix or a different director or something like that, some kind of other element, I think we could have had a better movie, or the next movie after this will be better because of the things that they've learned.
Sure, but also, do you know what I just think I realized looking at pictures to see if there's any moments we missed behind the scenes? This was a COVID movie. They filmed this during the pandemic. I just saw on the backstage everyone had masks on, which actually feels like a movie that had to be made in that environment. Very insular, very small, very small cat,
Yeah. Small cast, small team.
So it's like a movie that was made out of the fact that they had those parameters, which actually makes me like it a little more.
Honestly, I disagree. Because a lot of movies were made during COVID nowadays, right? Like a lot of movies were made.
No. I think this was probably made during the height.
During the height of COVID?
A lot were.
Didn't Tom Cruise make a fucking Mission Impossible during COVID or something?
Yeah, but Tom Cruise is a fucking maniac.
I'm just saying, I get it, but it's not like they're filming this on fucking webcams. Like that horror movie that was made entirely over Zoom and stuff like that. That's
Did you see
impressive.
the trailer for that one?
That's impressive. Okay.
Wait, the one that the guy from the Try Guys was a part of?
What? I don't know what you're talking about, but it was on Shudder.
I don't know.
Exactly. It was a small little indie thing, but that is that is cool, creative, and impressive. I get it. The Who Killed Uncle whatever Marcus or whatever.
That movie? Sure, but the other one you're talking about, was that movie because it was the only movie that came out in one theater during COVID? It was it made the most money that weekend. Is that
no, not that one?
No, you're talking about something else.
I'm talking about something else entirely. But this movie. Interesting. It's stuff like that. I get that I am more forgiving of that kind of stuff. But this was a whole ass movie. They had a bunch of fucking money. If they were filming during the height of COVID, they should not have, because they were ignoring, COVID protocols.
Sure.
So whatever. I don't care that it was filmed during COVID. That does not give them any bonus points in my eyes.
Okay.
But I get what you're saying. There were difficulties involved.
Marcus, is there anything else you'd like to talk about of the menu?
Would you eat any of those meals? Or which of the courses would you want?
I'm sorry, are you asking me if I would eat 3 caviar pieces, or whether I would eat the accoutrement for bread and not bread?
Yeah,
would I eat
that look good to you, I guess.
One singular scallop? Would I eat chicken or a fancy ass restaurant where I got to make my own taco with scissors? Which one are you asking about?
I was gonna say that looked like the main sort of meal, and the chicken looked dry as shit, and you had to make your own taco.
Yeah,
but there was no toppings or anything.
It just looked like tortilla and chicken.
Tortillas and chicken
and scissors.
It looked
the meal looked like it sucked. The meal looked like it sucked.
Again, might be part of the whole commentary.
Maybe I would rather a burger.
Yeah.
Give me a Five Guys burger. I'd be much happier.
Oh God, I want Five Guys. Okay, well, I guess we'll ask each other the questions, because you also watched this.
Did you like this film?
I did like the film. Did you like the film?
I really did. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I'm glad I watched it. Marcus, would you recommend this film?
I would recommend the film to people who like this kind of movie, who maybe are, just in need of something to watch. But I wouldn't recommend this film as you need to watch this film.
No, I would recommend it harder than that. I think people should watch it. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I think people will like watching this at home.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to see it in theaters. I think you need to watch it at home though.
That is the line. That's a good line.
Yeah.
It's an at-home streaming movie.
If you see this on HBO or Netflix, you definitely watch it.
Yeah.
You definitely don't need to go to the embassy and pay $18 for it.
No, that is not worth it. With the price of movie tickets too, and times are hard out here.
And how fast things are coming to streaming. Don't worry, Darwin's already
Yeah.
on streaming.
It's not worth it. Don't waste the money.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes
watch
it is. Yeah, 100%. And Marcus, are you going to watch the sequel called if this is called The Menu, that would be called The Dessert, or it'd be called
The Review.
Sometimes you're so fucking smart, like I can't fucking handle it.
got
You know what
such
I
a
mean?
big
You know what I
brain.
fucking mean? Seriously, I'm not even fucking kidding. Sometimes you say shit and I'm like, God damn, that's the better version of the thing I was trying to say. Whatever.
Imagine if when you told that woman, the girl, to go up there and perform, if she just fucking killed it.
I would have been okay with it. I
No,
would have
of
been like,
course
I'm
you
her
would've.
teacher. My work here is done. I would have took all the credit. You're like, I did it.
That's funny.
I fucking did it.
Okay, what was the question? Would you watch the sequel?
Yeah, I would.
Nice.
100%.
I think I would too.
100%.
I
Yeah,
look,
everyone's
I
dead,
think the writing duo that made this movie, I think that they have good heads on their shoulders. I think they know what they're doing. I think they could work a little bit better on sort of just like pacing and
The director, too.
expectations.
I think he, directed this really well. Oh, he's directed a lot of TV. Succession, Shameless, also some Game of Thrones. Let's see which ones though. He directed 3 episodes. He episodes 3 and 4 of season 5, and then 7 and 8 in season 6.
I don't know what any of that means. When did Game of Thrones end?
Season 5. Oh yeah, let's see what episode season 5 is. Season 5. He did. Hold on. Hold on. He did episode. Hold on. Hold on. 3 and 4. Hold on. Oh, he did the episode called High Sparrow and the episode called Sons of the Harpy.
Oh, I remember those episodes.
Those weren't bad. Okay, and then episodes 7 and 8 in season 6,
I don't fucking remember.
which was The Broken Man and No One.
That means nothing to me. Everything you just said doesn't mean anything to me. I don't remember a single episode title of Game of Thrones. I'm on The Red Wedding.
Oh, The Broken Man is the one where we find out the Hound is alive with like that fucking cult.
Oh, okay.
That was cool. And then No One is I don't know. Great. Yeah, anyway. Okay, The Menu.
Yeah.
Guys, next week thank you for listening to the episode about The Menu. Next week we are doing Bleach. We are tentatively, unless we tell you otherwise, doing Bleach. We are watching whatever is out up to that point. 6 episodes, 7, 6,
Whatever.
something like that. Tune into that on twitch.tv/NowTryThisCast on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also download the podcast wherever you download podcasts, but also join a community. Patreon.com/NowTryThisCast, where every month you get to make submissions and then vote on the submissions. Submissions were kind of light this month. So we're like, guys, get in there and like, tell us all the we want to hear the bad stuff, the good stuff, the things that are meaningful just to you, all types of media. Get in there, join us, and see you there.
Yeah, guys, exactly what Nick said. We love to see you guys on the Patreon. Remember this. Now, please come in close and remember with your hearts, with your ears, and with your minds. Remember to go out there and try new things.
Good night.
Good night.
Friends get together so they can try things. Yell about it, it's podcast so that you can try things. Now we will stop singing so that we can all now try this.
Clear eyes, full hearts can't lose.
Clear eyes, full hearts can't lose. I hit the snooze. I go to bed. I wake up. I rest my head. That's it. It's time to go to bed. Time to go to bed.